Mayor Maddox here. Today we are at OHC here in Rogers, and OHC does something for the city of Gravette that many of you may not know about, and that is they have a program called Neighbor to Neighbor, which has been being done for several years. And this Neighbor to Neighbor program is for anybody who cannot pay their water bills. They have a system in place through the city that will help you pay for it. So today we have Karen with us with OHC, and she's going to explain how this program works. So tell me a little bit about the program and how it works for the citizens of Gravette.
Okay, it is an income-based program, so we have to prove income. We always go on the previous month when we're proving income. It can be their Social Security award letter, their SSI award letter. If they get paid through paychecks, we go by pay dates, not by pay periods. We have to verify that they're within income guidelines. When we look at their water bill, it has to be in disconnect status. We're only allowed to pay $50 or 80%, whichever is lower.
Okay.
Once we receive that information, we look over it, make sure that it's approvable, approve it, and then contact the water company and make a pledge on the.
Is there a limited number of times someone can use this program each year?
There is. You can only receive assistance once per calendar year, so we go from the date that you receive assistance to the next time. So, for instance, if they were to come in today, September the 4th, we wouldn't be able to help again until September the 4th of next year.
Okay. So how does Neighbor to Neighbor work? Is this a program where people are giving money to help their neighbors, or how does this, where does the money come from?
The money actually does come from your neighbors.
Okay.
They have an option on their bill, but if they want to pay an extra amount, an extra dollar, or round up the change, then that money is put into a pot. It's released to us, and then we disperse it.
Okay, so then they would come to your office in order to qualify, and then after that you work with the water department to get all their information, what's needed
Yes.
to help them out.
That is correct.
Okay.
Generally, we do all of the paperwork here, and then once we have it approved, then we contact the water office and verify the shutoff amount. That's always a very important thing. We need to verify that they have not been disconnected,
Okay.
verify that they haven't had a water leak. Sometimes we can find that someone's had a really high bill and wasn't aware that they had a water leak. So we just kind of do some questions and get some answers from them and move forward from that direction.
Okay, awesome. Is there anything else about the Neighbor to Neighbor program you'd like for us to know about, or our citizens to know about?
Everyone needs help
Yes.
sometime in their life. Please reach out to us.
Okay.
That's what we're here for. That's what your neighbors are here for. They've made that effort.
And where would they reach out to? What's the phone number they would call?
The phone number is 479-636-7301. You can talk to anyone who answers the phone.
And that's OHC Rogers on Spruce Street.
Yes, 506 East Spruce Street. They have any questions on how to get here, just give us a call. We're happy to give them directions.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Karen, and I think this will go a long ways with our citizens. Appreciate you.
Well, we appreciate you, and thank you for everything you do.
All right, thank you. Welcome back. We're back at City Hall. I'd like to give special thanks to all of our city departments for all their hard work in the limb cleanup. We still have some going on, especially over east side of town, but we're getting there slowly. We had a couple of streets, including Buttermilk Springs and North Mount Pleasant, that were just really destroyed in several places. But they're getting it done, they're working hard, and we should have everything cleaned up pretty soon. But today I'd like to move on to some questions, and I have Chief Chuck Skaggs here with me. Thank you for coming.
Thank you
and
for
he's
having
going to
me.
help out with a couple of questions that we have had come in this week. Chief, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for all your hard work and everything you and your guys do. I know it's sometimes you get into some tough stuff, and you got to make some tough decisions, and some are liked and some aren't, but that's part of the job, and we sure appreciate what you and all your guys do.
I appreciate that, and I will pass it on to the officers.
Thank you. One of the questions is there anything against commercial vehicle parking overnight in the city limits?
We do not have an ordinance that prohibits a commercial vehicle parking anywhere in the city at this time. I think that it's something that you, the council, and we sit down and maybe look at some ordinances from other cities and come up with something that can regulate where a dump truck or a semi truck, or it could be a Ford F-150 that's got a business on the name of it or side on the name of it that is a commercial vehicle. So I think that's something that we have a place that they park at someplace particular, but then where do we find that spot for them to park at? Along a roadway overnight it can be congested at night.
Okay. Is there anything specifically on streets though? I mean, can people block streets? Is that an issue?
No. And what we can fall back on, there's a state statute, and it's 27/20/1205 that says that vehicles can't be parked within 3 feet of a roadway, blocking an intersection. There's another statute that says you can't park on sidewalks. If a vehicle's blocking an intersection or it's an emergency situation, we as law enforcement can tow that vehicle at that time. If it's more than 3 feet, but if it's still blocking a roadway or an intersection, or not blocking a roadway, but an intersection you can't see, we can tag that vehicle, and we have to put it in a spot to where the owner can see it, and they know that they need to move it. If it's not moved within 24 hours, then we can tow that vehicle.
Tow it after
as well.
that.
Yeah.
So normally you would come, you'd tag a vehicle, give them 24 hours to move
Yes.
it, unless it's blocking something that could be a danger
Correct.
to the citizens or something.
And to me, a danger would be at night. Let's not to pick on any subdivision, but let's go behind the high school where you have cars that are parked on both sides of the roadway. Now, technically, they are in violation of state law. But if you have a structure fire in that house at night and you can't get an engine down through that street because
Right,
those cars are blocking that big vehicle, they can't get to a house. So I think that's something that we go to the neighborhoods, we talk, we speak with the homeowners, vehicle owners, and let them know that the state statute, and that if need be, we'll remove your vehicle for you. Not that we want to, but if it's a danger or can hurt somebody, I think that's something we'll look at.
But pulling in someone's yard, parking beside the house, is there anything against that or any city ordinances?
As long as there isn't grass growing up around the vehicle and the vehicle is movable, it's really not against city ordinance to park in a yard. Can it be unsightly? Yes, it can.
Yeah.
But there is not a specific ordinance. The vehicle has to be able to be moved, and it can't have grass growing
Does it need to be
up around it.
tagged too?
Yes, has to be tagged, has to be up to date.
So as long as it's kept somewhere where it's clean, that'd become a code enforcement violation, I guess, if it was a blight to the community or something. But
Yes,
they
sir.
can pull up, park beside their driveways or something like
Yes,
that
you bet.
in order to be out of the street. Okay, golf carts on streets. We've had some questions about that. I believe there was an ordinance a few years ago we passed. And how does that work?
This ordinance, the state actually gave the city the authorities to come up with an ordinance regulating golf cart use in the city. So the city came up with an ordinance that allows our community to drive golf carts on the streets. Now, you can cross a state highway, but you can't roll up and down a highway or a federal highway for that matter. So let's say I-549, you can't take your golf cart down it.
Right.
You can't drive down Highway 72 or Highway 59, but you can cross to get to the other side. But I think that's a unique thing about Gravit is the golf carts and side-by-sides you can ride up and down the street. I would prefer that they didn't ride on sidewalks.
Right.
That's what we have the streets for. So
Yeah.
I think that's a great ordinance, and it gives somebody that may not have the ability to get into a car easily or whatever to go somewhere they need to.
And most all of our side streets are about 25 miles an hour anyway, max speed.
Max speed inside the incorporated city limits of Gravit is 25 miles an hour, with the exception of the school zone during the day when children are present.
yeah.
It's 20.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and then there is a little loophole if you've got a farm that you've got to go down. Can you tell me a little bit about what that is?
There is a loophole if you're driving a tractor or pulling a hay rake or something. You're allowed to drive down the roadway.
Is that called farm to farm? I think,
Farm
or
to
something
farm,
like
yes.
that, yeah.
As long as you're going from one farm to another, or from your house to a farm to do work, you're allowed to drive that tractor or that utility equipment down the roadway.
But other than that, you need to only cross straight over. Like
Right.
if you're going 3rd Street, you cross over 72 back onto 3rd Street again, but you do not turn onto 72 either way. You cross City Street to City Street.
You cannot ride up and down the state highway. You can cross from one street to the other, but
Okay.
you can't.
All right, very good. Very good. Highway 59 survey work. We had a question on this. There's some stuff going on between 59 Gravit and Sulphur Springs, mainly around the hill, and we visited with the State Highway Department. It looks like they're doing some survey to possibly add in a passing lane. Of course, it's very preliminary. How do you think that would help? I know we see a lot of wrecks in that area on that hill. Would that help, especially between the two, working together with all departments?
Oh, I think it'd be great. It would give a driver the ability to pass a dump truck or a semi that's coming up the hill at a slow rate of speed. And it would also give us the ability, law enforcement and fire, to be able to direct traffic down a lane that is open instead of closing the whole highway. So if you had that passing lane coming up, if we had to shut 2 down, we have that lane that we can direct traffic down. So I think that's a great thing, and I would look forward to the state doing that if they can.
Yeah, and we did have even an ambulance hit on a first showing up on scene there on that hill, because it is a narrow
Yes, sir. We
narrow
sure did.
issue there. Yeah. Anything else you have for the community that you like to say?
Man, I'd just like to let everybody know that we're here. We work every day. If you have a problem, call us. We'll be more than happy to talk to you. It's important to me that our officers are approachable, that anybody in the community can come up and speak with an officer, whether they're on patrol or at a football game or walking down Main Street. We're here to take care of and protect the citizens of the city of Gravette. And I think we do a good job at that, and look forward to continuing doing it into the future.
Well, great. Well, thank you. Appreciate all you do for us and for the city. And we just can't say enough about what you've done with the department, all the training. I know you guys do a lot of training, and I know you've upped training significantly
Yes, sir.
since you've come on, and I sure appreciate that. As you know, I'm a big person on learning and training. Appreciate you doing that. And all your guys. You just had one graduate. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we did. We had Officer Jeremy McGar graduate in July from the academy, and he has finished his field training program. He finished that 2 weeks ago and took the final test on it. So he's out on his own now. He's working with Corporal McNally on the evening shift. Great young man, very smart, and look forward to him being around for a long time.
And a Gravette native too.
And a
correct?
Gravette
Yeah.
native, yes. Grew up at school, went to school here, played football, played some basketball. So he's a great young man.
Well, very good. Well, thank you. Appreciate you helping us out today, and I'm sure there'll be more. The way we do this now is questions come in during the week, and we pull any department we need. If I can answer them, I answer them, but if not, we bring a department in. Appreciate you coming in. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
See you, man.